Hey guys, HellsF1rst here, back with another Corepunk video. We're on episode 8 of Alumio's Wiki series, and this time we're going to be talking about instanced PvE. Now, before we get too deep into this video, I want to ask you guys a favor real quick. I see that only about 8% of you guys who watch my videos are subscribed to me, and I'd truly appreciate it if you help me get that number up. Let's shoot for 50%, guys. Hit that subscribe button. Let's move in the right direction. Anyways, back to the series. Episode 8, Instant PvE. Corepunk will have dungeon raids. Awesome. We knew this, but it's great that they actually confirm it. Dungeon raid max party size will be between 20 and 12. Still be decided. So, I'm pretty sure they're going to lean towards the 12 side, because they're not wanting to have that many people in a dungeon. However, I think 20 would be awesome. That's the way I'd want it to be. Especially if you can run in a raid outside. 20 people just ready to murder whoever. Yes, I want it. Then you got, there are leaderboards for fastest dungeon clears. Direct quote, we will have a rating for the passage of dungeons. This is going to be my guild, 100% of the time. We're going to get all of these. I promise you. Legions of Darkness will be on the top. Then we got another direct quote, dungeons in Corepunk will be various types. Some of them will have entrance limits, of course. So like 4 people, 8 people, or maybe you got to have a gear power of this or that, right? Another direct quote, we do not believe that such a system will kill the fun, weekly resets and lockouts. Since it is necessary to limit the endless farming of bosses and dungeons, there will be other opportunities, places for grinding. Yeah. I mean, you need that. You can't just have, I mean, we're going to be the best guild, but you can't have us just murdering the best boss in the game over and over and over and over and over all day, because that wouldn't be fun for anybody else. We'd have all the shit and we wouldn't let anybody else do it. We'd lock it out. Can't happen. So this is true. We need these resets and lockouts. It has to happen. Another direct quote, the raids are inspired by classic WoW raids. Does this mean there will be simple mechanics rather than more complex mechanics seen in later expansions of WoW? Or was this comment referring to a different aspect of classic raids? And what they said for an answer, by that we meant that completing raids will be interesting and challenging. So you see what they did there. They deflected the question completely, right? Just completely deflected it. We don't want to answer this right now. Hey, Bob, what should we say? I think maybe we should, try and just don't even fucking answer the question, man. Just go. All right, we're not answering. We're gonna say that it's interesting and challenging. That's exactly what they did. Then we got a direct quote again. Another question: have you considered implementing a PvE survival gauntlet? For example, a tower with 100 floors types of thing. The answer is yes. We're planning to implement that. We believe that such content has a huge fan base, giving players a chance to compete. It also allows them to test their gear and skills. We got another direct quote, dungeons for sure will be a big part of endgame content. Well, yeah, I'd hope so. And I hope there's more than like 4 of them. I hope the world is just fucking full of these things. Another direct quote, will dungeons raids have a level of difficulty? I mean normal/heroic. And the answer is, dungeons will have a level of difficulty, but we're not sure about raids yet. I hope the raids are just one difficulty the whole way through. You don't want a noob difficulty and then a badass difficulty, because everyone will just choose the noob difficulty. Yeah, no. Make the raids one whole fucking difficulty through the whole thing. Another direct quote, we're planning to have raid, party, and solo content, which only a few players will be able to complete. I like the solo content aspect in case none of your friends are on. It's pretty cool. Then we have, will there be hardcore PvE dungeons for solo players? As I found out in solo, it will not be possible to complete group dungeons like in the trailer. I would like a hardcore challenge. And they said, we love hardcore, and we'll certainly make dungeons for such fans of complex content. I love that. I like it when it's hard. I like the challenge, I like to be put on my ass a couple times, just, it needs to happen. Another direct quote, players kicked out of your party will remain your allies until they leave the dungeon. While you're in the dungeon, you won't be able to kill these players, but you can always try to find them in an open world. Okay. Another direct quote, kicked players will be teleported out of the dungeon after 1 minute. You can be ganked when leaving a dungeon. This right here is awesome. Oh, God, that's amazing. You can be ganked when leaving a dungeon. Perfect. Then we got, you can get very powerful items in raids. Cool. We knew this. It's pretty much every game, right? But good to know. Another direct quote, we don't have plans for raids that adjust to the amount of players for now. No matter the amount of players, monster stats will be designed with a whole raid group in mind. I like that. I like that a lot. That means maybe if you get the most badass 4-man in the fucking world, you can run into one of these raids and still do some fucking damage, possibly take down a boss to get that piece of gear, and only have to split the possibility of getting it between 4 people. I like it. Maybe 8 people, you know? Or 6 people. Who the fuck knows? Just less than 12. Now, if the raid's designed for 20 fucking people, it'd be really nice to walk in there with 12 and take the whole thing out, right? I'm sure the loot is going to scale around all of this as well, right? So if it's meant for 20 people, the loot is going to be meant to handle 20 people, and then you'll be fine after that. Another direct quote here. How difficult will the puzzles and dungeons and raids that a player will have to solve in order to proceed? Destiny 2 here is an example. And they said, we find the puzzles and challenging mechanics or Destiny 2 to be a really fun addition. In our game, we will have both the more difficult and simpler ones. We hope players will like them. Okay, so that's really fun. Destiny 2, I don't know if you guys played it, but like 90% of the dungeons had some sort of mechanic you had to do to move forward that was not just killing, which I liked. It was much more involved than WoW, right? Like WoW's system for this was nothing like Destiny's. So that'll be pretty fucking cool. I'm excited. There are several loot systems, need/greed, master loot, and free-for-all. So master loot is probably your best one when playing with a guild, because that means you don't have any assholes doing need over and over and over again. But, you know, we'll see how it works. I really like master loot. It's one of my favorite loot systems, because then you got the main guy in the party who's not a dick, who's going to help everybody out and make sure that whoever needs it gets it. Another direct quote, so I wanted to ask if raids are going to be super hard like WildStar or WoW. Are they going to be casually so everyone can clear it, even on the highest difficulty? And then they said, raid content is inspired by classic WoW a lot. It won't be easy. Classic WoW is the key here. Because WoW now, the dungeons and the raids, I can do it with my eyes closed. It's horrible. It's why I quit playing the game. It's why 90% of people quit playing the game. Then we got another direct quote. Bosses will be immune to most controls. Also, players will not be able to constantly keep the boss in control. That's talking about the tank right there, right? He's not going to be able to keep it in place. It's just gonna your taunts are going to be shit, is what he's saying. Some bosses will have several impact points. I like that aspect. That way you know left, right, back, front. I'm sure we're all going to have to memorize them for the class we're playing and how it's going to work. Another direct quote, will the dungeons be instantiated or can any player enter? And they answered, each party will have its own instance of a dungeon. There will, however, be a small number of dungeons that will allow 2 opposing parties to enter a single instance at the same time. This will be cool to go murder other people that are in a dungeon. It's awesome. So here has been episode 8 of this whole deal. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And as always, I'm HellsF1rst. And until next time, ta-ta.